My name's Coley Andrews, GSB class of 2009. My partner and I started a firm called Pacific Lake Partners, and all we do are invest in and support search fund entrepreneurs. The search fund model has its roots here at Stanford, and fortunately it's a very fast-growing part of the little entrepreneurial universe. The search fund model is really entrepreneurship through acquisition. It's an opportunity for individuals who want to be their own boss but aren't necessarily a startup person to raise a little bit of walking around money to conduct a thoughtful 2-year search to find a small business to buy. Usually it's from an owner, someone in their 60s or 70s who wants to retire and doesn't have a son or daughter that they either want to hand the business to or would like to take over the business. And it provides an opportunity for a recent MBA graduate to step into the leadership role and become the CEO of a small, profitable, and growing company. We believe in backing smarts and hustle, not experience. And the way we get around the experience is by focusing on buying a company that's very strong characteristics, it's very healthy, it's unlikely to be broken, unlikely to be run into the ground by a 30-year-old who's never run a business before. And when you have those ingredients at the company level, and you layer in on top of that somebody who's inexperienced but well-educated, has a lot of hustle and drive, has turned down attractive offers to go work at other big companies because she or he wants to be in business for themselves, you really can create an environment where a lot of magical things can happen. Some people just say, you know what, I have to be passionate about the idea and the product that I want to create, and therefore, I'm going to go start my own business. And that's just a certain type of personality. There are those out there, though, who say, I'm not really that concerned so much about the product, the passion. I just love the idea of managing. I want to be in charge. I want to make decisions. I want disproportionate responsibility early in my career. Those are the folks that end up going the search fund path, not necessarily the startup path. There's also a risk difference. The odds of success in the search fund world are materially higher than starting your own business. They come in two phases. One, you raise money to go out and find a company, and you have about a 75% chance during a 2-year period of actually finding and buying a company. Thereafter, once you buy the company, you have about a 2/3 chance, 67% chance that you're actually going to be successful and make money. And there are investors out there that have skewed the odds on both of those situations farther up to the right to the positive. So when you walk it all through, you have a greater than a 50% chance of being successful, becoming a CEO, building a company, and having a financial outcome and a life experience outcome that you want. That's very different than the startup risk, where it's much more boom or bust. What we're looking for when we find a new entrepreneur, or a new entrepreneur reaches out to us, is really two things. One, the strategy that they're going to employ to look for a company to buy, and the type of company that they want to buy. So that gets to my earlier point about, hey, buying a good business in a good industry increases your odds of success. So if they're focused on that, that's great, check the box. Then it gets to the harder stuff, which is the softer side of the individual. Why do they want to do this? Have they turned down other attractive offers? Are they really demonstrating commitment to this path, to being their own boss? The search fund model is predicated on taking somebody with high potential and surrounding them with people that can help him or her succeed. If they're willing to listen and take advice from those who have gone down the path before them and avoid mistakes they otherwise might make, that's a good sign. We often get that question, oh my gosh, you put a 30-year-old in charge of a company on day one, doesn't everybody flee for the exits? And the answer is no. These are small businesses, the employees, it's important for them, it's their job, they want to stay there. And obviously you're trying to minimize as much change as possible, particularly in the first year. So the transition is really do nothing. Just listen, learn, make sure you're buying a business that's going to continue to move forward even while you have this management change going on. Then what happens is you wake up 12 or 18 months later and the entrepreneur knows an enormous amount more about the business and the industry. And the board that's been working closely with the entrepreneur understands things much better. And you can begin to slowly start to make changes to, build out a sales force and begin to attack a different part of the market that you weren't doing before. Bring in some senior leaders to help really grow and scale. For the investor, it's not a lot of money up front to run risk on a high potential individual. So we're investing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for that entrepreneur to have 2 years of runway to go out there and find that business, okay? And I know that 75% of the time I'm going to have an option to to invest more money into the company they actually find. And that's why, I exist, is to invest larger amounts in the business on behalf of our LPs. So you skew the risk materially and have, on the small dollar amount, there's some chance you're going to lose that, but 75 out of 100 is still pretty good. And then you have a chance to decide whether or not you want to invest a lot more money once you have something known, which is a known business, a known history of profits and growth, a known industry, and an entrepreneur that you've been working with for 18 to 24 months that you've gotten to know a lot better than you did back at the beginning. Every day you're waking up and it's a new battle every day to find somebody who will actually talk to you. Search fund entrepreneurs over the life of their 2-year search will reach out to thousands of companies. They'll have hundreds of conversations, hopefully hundreds of in-person meetings, but maybe not even that, tens of in-person meetings, to have a chance to buy one company. So it takes, an enormous amount of inner strength and conviction to wake up every morning knowing that 90% of your day is going to be rejection, to have a chance at the end to achieve your goal, which is to become a CEO when you're 30 or 31 years old. 1995, there were 2 or 3 search funds raised roughly that year, plus or minus a year or two. In 2005, it was more like 10 or 12. And in 2015, there'll be over 50 search funds that have come out and raised. So it is clearly now gotten to a place where entrepreneurs who want to be their own boss, but they're not a startup person, know that it's a viable path to achieving their goal. And so therefore, it's a super exciting time to be involved in the search fund community. And if you just think about the number of businesses out there that are owned by individuals in their 60s and 70s, the baby boomer generation, they have to find something to do with their primary asset. And a lot of them love the idea of selling their business to a younger version of themselves, which is the search fund entrepreneur.